When I started this whole writing journey, it was just me and a notebook and a pen. There was no internet because back then I didn't have regular access to the internet. So a lot of it was just me just kind of blindly writing in a notebook. It was my way to escape reality. It was going on an adventure so that I could ignore all of the things that were going wrong around me. And I didn't really have intentions of sharing any of these things. It was just my way of entertaining myself through very dark times. But over the course of 10, 15 years, probably even longer, I would say, it became something that was just part of who I am. Please disregard the beeping. That was my washing machine going off. But it became a part of who I am. There's not a second of the day that goes by where I'm not thinking about writing. I have ADHD, and I have a habit of spacing out, especially in public. 90% of the time, if you catch me in public and I've got that distant eyes look, I'm thinking about writing. It's a big problem to the point that I've learned that if I go or if my significant other goes quiet, it's because I'm doing the spacey look. Um, there's been plenty of encounters where I have accidentally spooked people because I'm staring at them very intensely, and I'm not looking at them. I'm in my brain, or as my significant other calls it, I'm checking into the cosmos or in my cosmos. But for me, writing was my escape. It's always been my escape. It was kind of my way of being able to be spacey without getting yelled at because I was a space cadet as a child. I wasn't the hyperactive ADHD person that you kind of see. I was the one that's always spaced out in La La Land, and just having a really hard time with focusing. And if you look back in all of my notebooks from like middle school, high school, you'll see some notes from like the classes, but in teeny tiny letters, which is what some of the notebooks I was looking at was. Um, it's not notes. It's just it's some of the writing that I was doing. Um, the genre that I write in primarily is fantasy fiction. Um, so a lot of it is in that genre. Some of it's fan fiction. I will not deny it because we all have our ways of learning, and I am a big anime fan, so fan fiction was part of that package. But that's the point of this video. The point is I enjoy the messy process of just writing freely and not really worrying about is it good, is it bad, how can I make this better. That didn't start until I got access to the internet and I started meeting other people who also write, also fan fiction. A lot of the writers that I met for the first time were all fan fiction writers of varying degrees. We all start from somewhere, but that was my first taste of meeting other writers who were as passionate about it as I was. Still no AI because that wasn't a thing. I'm a 90s baby, late 90s baby. We didn't have AI back then. It was just blindly throwing things on a page and helping we find friends that humor our awkward stages of of character building. But that is an aspect in the writing process that I've always loved is just getting lost in the process of creating things. And as I met more people, I love the process of taking stuff and rebuilding it and making it better, and rebuilding it and making it better, using my experiences that I've learned with other writers who are also in their awkward stages and building each other up and helping each other grow. That being said, recently there's a lot of problems with AI being used in works, and I have a lot of things to say about it. I don't like putting people down, so I'm gonna try and not do that because sometimes people don't understand. Sometimes people they're also using it as like a way of escape. However, I don't think people who are in creative spaces should be using it for anything. Mostly because you cheat yourself when you use them. You're missing the chance to learn very vital skills that will help you grow as a creator. And part of the art that you make is the story that it takes to get it to be where it was. If you take away all the people that get involved, you lose that story and you lose the things that get people connected. Think about some of the actors and stuff that you know or the works that you're part of. Part of the things that draw people in is seeing the teams interact and build off of each other. Why do you think people get so excited when artists that you know start doing collaborations? It's because seeing two people that you really enjoy coming together to create something amazing, that is the part of the creating process that I love more than anything. And I want to keep those aspects in my writing as much as possible, which is why you will never see any kind of generative work being used. I would rather take crayons to a sketchbook and make a really bad doodle and have my friends who are artists panic at how bad it is than give it to a generative AI platform or any or use it in any capacity. Because part of the story that comes to building is being able to tell people, hey, remember that one time Liz tried to draw her main character and it was a stick figure? Because I do give my artist friends stick figures sometimes. I'm not the greatest artist. Sometimes I don't even draw it. Sometimes I'll just do a mood board and be like, something like this. Um, but that's all part of the story that goes into building the thing. And I want to keep that in my stuff. So AI, it's completely off the table for me. I will not use it. Yes, that means it's probably going to take things a little bit longer, but I would rather have that bumpy, chaotic path than one that just has none of those things because then it just feels empty and lifeless and it takes away the part of the writing that I enjoy more than anything, which is just the people coming together and just putting something amazing together. But, my timer is about to go off. I have like a limit that I'm supposed to set. Long story short, my name is Liz the T-Rex. I write fantasy fiction stories, and I'm on this huge journey of trying to sort through all the stuff that I've written for the past 10, 15 years. There's one video that shows you just how bad and out of control it's been. Um, this channel is pretty much me sorting through that. And today's video was me just saying I will not use AI for anything. Not outside of spell check, that's about as far as it gets. But my name is Liz the T-Rex. Welcome to my channel. I believe the humanity needs to stay in the arts. That is my wholehearted opinion. Um, and because of that, I will never use it in the creative space. Thank you for sticking to my channel. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to see an amateur writer tumble through this process together. Um, and I will see you in the next video. If you are still watching, give this video a thumbs up and go down into the comments section and tell me your biggest pet peeve with generative AI. Please keep it tame. Don't be arguing down there. Keep it classy, people. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!